I'm Jim Burroway. I attended the Love One Out ex-gay conference in Phoenix in February of 2007. I went because Focus on the Family often invites gay activists to go to their conferences so that we could see for ourselves what they're all about. So I did. At the Love One Out conference, most of the conference was sort of religious in vein. It was sort of a kind of a revival meeting, not quite, but it was certainly religiously themed. But they did want to back up a lot of what they said with science. And to their credit, they didn't use any what I would call junk science. Like they didn't cite Paul Cameron or anybody like that. But I did see several cases where they did take real, legitimate, and well-done science in many cases and tried to explain that it said something that it didn't really say. They talked a lot about Robert Spitzer's 2003 study of ex-gays that found that some ex-gays reported that they had changed their sexual orientation. But they didn't really talk about degrees or you know how successful that was or any of the or how common it was or in fact rare. They certainly didn't mention Dr. Spitzer, who often said that he thought it was extremely rare. At one point, when he was really pressed to give how rare, he said maybe 5 or 10%. He had no data to back that up, but it's just sort of give you an idea of how rare he thought it was. They didn't mention, for example, that it took him close to a year and a half to find his 200 participants in his study, or that some 2/3 of it came directly from Exodus and Narth. And in fact, from what I understand, Alan Chambers was one of the study participants. He's now the president of Exodus. His study did mention that quite a number of them, a very large percentage of them, spoke publicly against homosexuality in their churches, and so they really had a vested interest in saying that they had changed. None of that was in the discussion.